Time now for our Life and Info segment where we focus on information that's hopefully useful for your everyday life. Today we're going to talk about how South Korean businesses are reacting to the early summer-like weather we've been seeing by introducing new products and how consumers can hopefully, or do what they can anyway, to beat the heat. I'm glad to say our Ko Roon-hee is in the studio with us. Rooney, thanks for joining us. So start off by telling us about the temperatures we've been seeing for the past week or so. Yesterday was hot enough for most people, but today is going to be even more unbearable.
So the highest temperature in Seoul hit almost 30 degrees Celsius on Thursday, and it looks like the temperature will be higher this month compared to same period last year. Let's take a look at a graph. So as you can see, temperatures during the last 7 days were generally higher this year compared to 2018. And because of this, the nation's distribution industry has already experienced a sales bump in summer-related items. And I took a chance to look at an example of E-Mart, one of the largest retailers in Korea. During the first 16 days of May, its sales of air conditioners jumped by more than 60%. And it was same for other items like watermelons and ice cream. I visited one of the stores and lots of people were buying such items to prepare for the summer. The retailer has prepared various promotions to quickly respond to people buying summer items earlier than last year. I talked to a customer and a manager about the matter.
It's getting hot, so I came here to buy a watermelon for my family. It's good to see some promotions going on.
A lot of customers are buying air conditioners these days. I think it's because they're purchasing the products in advance before it gets too hot like last summer.
So Rooney, what we're seeing then is major retailers are experiencing this sales bump on certain products like air conditioners and watermelons. But tell us more about some unique products we can also buy, apart from those things, that we can use to cool ourselves down a touch.
Sure. So the first category I want to mention is clothing. Korea's summer weather, as you know, is very hot, but also very humid, which can cause us to sweat a lot. Some clothing companies have introduced new products that have special functions in terms of keeping you looking and feeling fresh. One brand that makes sports garments came up with a special fabric that provides a cool feeling when the fabric comes into contact with moisture such as sweat. Their new products include stylish polo shirts and mesh jeans. A manager at this company shared their marketing plans for the future.
We're planning to hold events so we can meet potential customers face to face. Also, we plan to work with YouTube creators involved in outdoor activities so they can share their positive experiences after wearing our clothes.
Well, Rooney, I have to say I've never heard of mesh jeans before this morning, but I hear they're jeans with very small holes in them so the air can circulate a bit more while you wear them, so you feel cooler as well.
Exactly.
And it's interesting that that company has decided to call their summer wear the Ice series, so it gives you a sense of what they're trying to convey to consumers. It's also interesting to note that they want to work with some big-name YouTubers to promote their products as well. It really shows you how marketing and the forms of media that big companies use now, the way things are changing in that regard. Are there any other items out there that you'd like to tell us about?
Sure. And you cannot discuss summer in Korea without talking about food.
Yeah.
So I want to introduce you to some spicy cool noodles released this summer. And major ramen companies have introduced new bibimbap products featuring seaweed. And some might ask why seaweed? And well, it isn't just because it adds chewiness to the noodles, but it's because many consumers want to add some kind of healthy elements to their snack. But as you can see, there are many choices, and I met with one YouTube creator who can help you find what that suits your taste. And Bae Myung-guk's YouTube channel is about reviewing food, and when new products hit the shelves, he tries to be the first one to try them out. Subscribers to his channel find out the specifics about the cool noodles, such as the price, where you can buy them, and his personal review. And because you have so many options to choose from, it can be helpful to find YouTubers like him and see what products suit you best before you spend your hard-earned money.
I tried to explain the taste of the sauce or the quality of the noodles in detail. Because I also touch on the spiciness of the products, viewers can choose the products accordingly.
Okay, sounds good. You actually have a couple of packets of those noodles on the desk there, perhaps. You can show the camera if we can get a look at that. Are they actually served cold then? So normally with noodles you have to pour boiling water in them. So you have to do that first to get the noodles nice and soft, and then what, you have to wait for it to go cold or something?
You have to put it in the cold noodles, sometimes with ice, and you have to wash it for like a minute. So it make it cold, and then you have your bibimbap ready.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it's good to see, and perhaps check out YouTube if you want some reviews on what Korean people think about them. So you've talked about how the distribution industry here in Korea has really seen this sales growth of summer-related products already. We're still in May, it's not even June yet, and how customers, consumers are getting more and more options as the years roll on, both in terms of air conditioners, food, drinks, ice cream and whatnot. But what does the heat and the hot weather, this early heat wave we're having, what kind of effect does that have on the economy as a whole?
Well, Mark, I talked to an expert in the field, and it turns out there are both good and bad sides. Let's take a listen.
According to a report, consumption increases by 0.5% if the temperature increases by 1 degree Celsius. Nevertheless, overall labor productivity decreases if the scorching heat continues for a long time.
Well, that makes sense, what that expert was saying there. We all know what it feels like if we're stuck in a stuffy office. It's hard to motivate yourself to work as hard as you would do if you felt nice and cool. So positives and negatives on both sides of the argument there, and let's hope, Roonhee, that it isn't as hot as it was last summer, because we were seeing temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius last summer, but the report we heard at the top of the newscast suggests that it is going to be another hot one. But thank you as always for joining us. Perhaps you can give me one of those noodles after the newscast. Thank you.
Thank you.